New channel name, new guns, and all kinds of updates. Let's go. What's up, guys? My name is Joe, and welcome to Scruffy Arms. Hey guys, you may have noticed that we changed the channel name. We've done that just to kind of reflect more of what we're doing here on the channel. So when we started this channel, we did it as a family urban homestead, and when I started doing gunsmithing, that kind of took over. So we've updated the name to reflect it. Scruffy Arms is the name of my business. And so just to kind of reflect those changes, we decided to change the name to Scruffy Arms. And that's why we did it. So in case you're wondering what happened, that's the only thing that happens. We just changed it to be more accurate of what we're doing here on the channel. So, man, a whole bunch of stuff coming. I told you guys that post-SHOT Show was going to be a busy time, and it has been. We've had a couple new rifles and new pistols and revolvers come through the shop, and there's some still on their way. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about is an update for the 7PRC build. So for those of you that are new to the channel, you may not know I have a Ruger M77. There's a 1979 original tank safety, but it's in .338 Win Mag. And we found out that the barrel is shot out. It's pitted, it's rusted, it's even got some cracking on the inside of it. So it's no longer safe to shoot. It's not just it'll be inaccurate, but it's not safe. The barrel could crack, and that can cause some serious issues. You don't want to do that. So I did a lot of research. It is a Magnum bolt face. It's a full length, so kind of looking at what else is in that category, and ended up landing on the 7PRC. There was a lot of reasons for that, and you can go back to one of the videos talking about the Ruger M77 project, and I also did another video talking about barrel length on a 7PRC and kind of talking about how I'm coming to some of these decisions. So today, I actually ordered the barrel for the Ruger M77. So we ordered the barrel. I'm getting a McGowan Precision barrel, and we're going to keep the same contour, same all of the things that are on the rifle right now as far as what the barrel is going to look like. The only difference, I'm getting a stainless steel. It's going to be a matte finish. We're going to Cerakote it here, and I'll take you guys on that process when I do it. I'm going to put a Duracoat lining on that barrel. And I'll just, when that comes in, I'll show you guys how I do it. I have an action wrench that will take the action off, and then we'll put the new one on. We also got it threaded, so I ended up going with a 20-inch barrel. So we're doing a 20-inch barrel. Did a 5/8 24 threading because it'll match up with my suppressor. So it's going to be about 3 to 4 months for that barrel to come in. Just that's kind of the state of manufacturing right now. So when that gets here, I'll show you guys, and we'll go through installing that. We'll get the go and no-go gauges. I'll show you guys how you go through that process, how you can install a barrel, and that'll be a lot of fun. But in the process of researching the barrel I wanted to use and just some of the other products that were out there, one of my goals when starting my business was to build bolt-action rifles. I love working on bolt-action rifles. I love putting them together. I love taking them apart. I love updating them. And the opportunity to just build one has kind of come in my lap. And so we are going to build the first Scruffy Arms Custom. So we are going to use a Remington 700 Action, and we're going to go from there and just work from the ground up. It's not going to have a barrel on it. I think it's coming with a factory trigger, but we're going to take that off. We're not going to use that. So we're going to have a action with the bolt and a trigger, nothing else. So no barrel, no stock, no magazine, no bottom metal, none of the things. So what that's going to do is we get to decide on caliber, stock, barrel, chambering, all the things, right? And that's a lot of fun. It's also pretty daunting. So as a firearms business and as a gunsmith, one of the things that I need to look at is the market. What are the chamberings that people are buying a lot of? So I actually did some research, and I looked over the last 10 years what have been the most popular firearms, calibers and chamberings, the last 5 years, the last 3 years, and the last year. And it's actually pretty interesting. Now, you're always going to have the pretty standards. Like the 22 long rifle is number one. It is you're not defeating the 22 long rifle. I don't care what you do. 22 long rifle is number one. Number two is 223 5.56. That it just is. AR platform, affordable, readily available. They're number one. Number three, this actually surprised me. It used to be 308 Winchester. It is now 6.5 Creedmoor. So 6.5 Creedmoor has just recently overtaken the 308 Winchester. Number 5 is 308 Winchester. After that, we get into the 243, 300 Win Mag, 30-06, 300 Win Mag, 30-06, 7 Rem Mag, and then 270 Winchester. So those are the top 10 over the last 10 years, okay? In the last 3 years, and that was the same for the last 5 years too. If you only look at the last 3 years, all 3 of the PRCs and the 3 Creedmoors that are mainstream are all up in the top 10 now. So you have the 6.5 PRC, the 7 PRC, the 300 PRC are all in there. The 6.5 Creedmoor, the 6 Creedmoor, and the newly approved 22 Creedmoor. The 22 Creedmoor has got a lot of steam over the last 6 months. It's the very bottom of all of those. But then you have the Ackley Improves. A lot of that, especially the 280 Ackley Improved is on there. The Weatherby Magnums, some of those are on there. So you start looking at some of these more unique chamberings. The last 6 months, it's been 7 PRC, 6 Creedmoor, 22 Creedmoor, 6 ARC, and 22 ARC have been the most searched, not the most purchased. The most purchased, 22 long rifle, 6.5 or 223, 6.5 Creedmoor, 3.8 Winchester. Those are the top 4. Okay, number 5 changes based on the region that you look at. Where I live, number 5 actually was the 270. So that's pretty telling when you look at that. If you were to look in a straight wall cartridge state, you're going to see 350 Legend, 360 Buckhammer, 450 Bushmaster. Those are all going to be the biggins. But so looking at all of that data, I need to make a decision on, am I going to go with a 224 style bolt face, so like 223 Remington, the new 22 Creedmoor, 204. What am I going to look for? Are we going to do a varmint round? Are we going to do a short action, so 308 bolt face, so that family of calibers, so pretty much anything 243 up to 6.5 Creedmoor and everything in between we could do? Do we go long action and do the 30-06 family of things? That gets us into the 270s, 30-06, 280 Remington, 280 Ackley Improved. That gets you in some of those types. Or do we get a Magnum bolt face and just make another Magnum? I mean, there's pick on the Magnums. We could do any of the Magnums with a long action Magnum bolt face. So all of those things lead me into this question of what do we build? What would be something that people would want to buy and want to see? So here's kind of my thought process. The first one I thought of doing was the 22 Creedmoor. The 22 Creedmoor just got SAAMI spec approval like 2 days before SHOT Show. Hornady is loading factory ammunition. They're doing the ELDX and ELDM, which is the Precision Hunter and the match ammo. So you can get a 22 Creedmoor factory ammunition. So I could build a 22 Creedmoor, which they're very rare. There's only 1 one company, I think, right now that is building factory rifles for that. I think next year you're going to see more 22 Creedmoors. But right now I think it's Horizon Firearms, I think that's who it is who's doing that. And they're the only ones doing those right now. And those rifles cost a pretty penny. I could build one of those that would be significantly cheaper, but still a really good quality. So that is very appealing to me. If I can get the appropriate bolt face for that, that might be an option. That would be a pretty fun build. Ammo is pretty scarce because Hornady is the only one doing factory loading for that. Can I get it? Yes. It'd be a little expensive. And it is so new. Will people buy that rifle unless they're really, really into it? I don't know. And I am a business, so I'm not doing this to keep the rifle. I'm doing this to sell the rifle. Next is the short actions. So the 308 family of things. 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6 Creedmoor, 243. So when most manufacturers build a new production rifle, they do a 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. The reason for that is they are extremely popular. My counter to that is because they're so popular, I'm going to be charging a premium price, okay? This is not going to be a cheap rifle when it's all said and done, because I'm going to need to recoup some of my costs. It's the cost of the action, the cost of the barrel, the cost of the stock, the cost of the trigger, the cost of all of that, plus the time and tools it takes me to build this. So all of those are going into the cost of this, and you can get a very good one for less than what I'm going to be charging for this rifle. And so that leads me into that. Right now, there are so many options in those chamberings that you can get a very good rifle for a fraction of what I'm going to be charging, to be completely honest. So there's that. Could I build a really, really nice one? Yes, I can. Will it be competitive with some of the more expensive rifles that are out there? It will be. But is someone going to want to buy that one? We'll see. The last one is the long action. I'm not going to do a Magnum. I'm seeing that Magnums are not as popular, especially in my area. The 300 Win Mag has been popular, but it's waning in popularity here. The 7 Rem Mag has been popular, but it's waning in popularity. A lot of people are wanting that lower recoil, lower ammunition cost, and that ability to go to the range more. And in the long actions, the most popular ones in my area are the 270 and the 30-06. One that's really picking up steam is the 280 Ackley Improved. And I've done some research on the 280 Ackley Improved, and it also has SAAMI spec. Nosler went and got SAAMI spec for it. You can get factory production rifles in 280 Ackley Improved. There's factory ammo for 280 Ackley Improved. And the difference between that and a 280 Remington is just it's not as curved of an angle in the neck. It's much more compact. What that does is it gives you more velocity, so you're pushing anywhere from 2,900 to 3,100 feet per second out of an appropriate length barrel and loading in a 7mm round. That's cooking. You're talking almost like 7 Rem Mag, 7 PRC performance. Almost. Not quite, but almost. And it's not a Magnum. Those are Magnums. This is not. So that's pretty impressive. So if I do a long action, that would probably be the way that I would be going with that. So when we look at all three of those options, we have the 223 family. I would probably go with a 22 Creedmoor in that one. In the short action, I would probably go with a 6 Creedmoor. And the reason I say the 6 Creedmoor is that they're hard to get right now, but they've got very similar ballistics to a 243, and they are a little bit better. They're a more modernized version of the 243. You can use them for deer, but you can use them for predator. You can use them for planking, you can use it for competition shooting. It's a very, very viable round for all of those aspects. So I'm looking at that pretty hard. And then I think you guys may have figured out in the long action that looking at doing a 280 Ackley improved for that. So I've got 3 different options here: 22 Creedmoor, 6 Creedmoor, and 280 AI. And the reason that I'm leaning towards all of those is because of the resale value that I could get out of those. I don't think that I could get a very good resale value if I do a standard chambering or something you can readily go into a local gun shop and buy off the shelf. This is going to be a custom rifle with premium parts, okay? And I'll kind of talk you guys through the build as that happens. But I wanted to tell you that we are going to be building a rifle. Now, as a dealer, I have access to many behind-the-scenes things that other people don't have, so I can get better prices than the common person could. It would cost, what I'm going to build would probably cost someone several $1,000s if you were going to do it yourself. It won't cost me that much because I do get dealer pricing for things, but it's still going to be a pretty penny. And when we're done building this, I will show you guys the build process. I will show you the finished product, and that rifle will be for sale. I will be selling it through my local shop. I will probably try to sell it online, and I will take it to the range and on here show you guys how it shoots and how it groups. But I'm really, really excited about this project. I've got 2 bolt action projects that are going to be coming up right about the same time, which is a really fun thing. The custom build will probably take a little bit longer as we decide on the different parts and we order the things to come in. I'm going to have to pick which barrel and order that barrel. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll decide which barrel manufacturer we're going to go through. We're going to have to figure out which stock we want to get, and there are so many options when you come to the Remington 700 footprint of what to get. We get all kinds. Currently in my inventory, I've got a Sharps Brother chassis, I've got an MDT Oryx chassis, I've got a Magpul Hunter stock, I've got a Hogue overmolded stock. So I've got a Macmillan stock. So I've got 5 different manufacturers of aftermarket stocks right now that I have experience with. So we'll see what happens with that as well, because that's also a choice we're going to have to make. And one thing that we're really going to have to pay attention to is some of these do AICS pattern and some you need bottom metal. This is just an action. So each one of those things requires new parts, and I'm really excited to go through this build and explain to you guys what I'm thinking. So guys, a bunch of updates. We do have a new firearm coming in. It should be in tomorrow. When that comes in, I'll do a quick unboxing and review for you guys. Taking my oldest to the range on Wednesday to go shooting. We might take the camera out there if the new firearm comes in time. We'll take that out there and shoot it and show you guys how that goes. But that's what's going on, guys. I've been really busy at the shop. I've been really excited about that. New channel name just to reflect what we're doing on here. 2 new rifle builds. So we're taking that Ruger M77. It's going to become a 7 PRC, which is going to be really, really nice. I'm excited for that. I'm really, really excited for that, guys. Once that gets all done, you'll see a lot of that at the range. Next, we're going to be building a custom rifle. This will be the first Scruffy Arms custom rifle build from the ground up. I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to show you guys what that's going to look like. I'll show you all the components, do the complete build with you on the channel. I am super, super excited for that to happen. And then, after we sell that one, you know we're going to have to do another. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you hung out this long, go ahead, hit that like button, hit the notification. And what I always like to tell you, as always, stay blessed, and we'll see you next time.